Well, hello everyone. We are here in Los Angeles, and what is happening right now? We're at Adobe Max, and I'm here with my good friend AJ Bleyer.
Hey.
We have a really exciting show for you today. We're going to go over some stuff in Premiere. So this is First Takes and streamlined video creation in Premiere Pro. My name is Sean McDaniel. I'm a video evangelist here at Adobe. And man, we're really excited. We've got chats going. We've got people all over the place. We've got vendors. How's your experience been thus far, AJ?
Max is awesome. Max it's so funny when you're working with these digital, creative tools, and you're also friends with digital creators online. It really takes an environment like this to just be surrounded by everyone and feel like you're home. It's once a year, and I look forward to this all year. I'm so stoked to be here, you guys. Well, don't do normally live stuff, so that's kind of interesting, but you mentioned it earlier, there's a huge chat happening right here, so as you tune in, please check in, say hi, say nice things or not, you do you. But we're excited and we can see what everyone's writing here, and we're gonna show you some cool stuff.
Yeah, and we want the chat to kind of pop up, so I'm gonna be keeping an eye on it as AJ's kind of going through his stuff, but AJ, not a lot of people know, everybody knows about AJ, but tell some folks that maybe do not know about you, a little bit about what you do, what's your background, and then we're going to jump in. You got some demos for us too, right?
I sure do. So my name is AJ Bleyer. I'm a DJ director. I'm also the executive producer and founder of Advent Films, it's a commercial production company based right here in LA. And we specialize in doing a lot of big action stuff, a lot of race cars, helicopters, jumping out of airplanes, blowing stuff up. I love my job.
Wait, have you jumped out of an airplane?
So many times.
Dude, seriously?
So many times.
How come you've never told me this before?
Oh my God, I kind of faked it once, and I did it with Red Bull. I told them I'd done it before and got through, and then I became like someone who was an expert in that, so I've done it for them and Riot Games, and now I'm like a skydiver guy. I never need to do it again.
That's not something you fake though. I feel like you have to kind of know, if you're gonna jump out of a plane, I would want to have done that with someone before. Good on you.
Thank you.
I can't even jump out of my bed sometimes.
It's true, big jump. I put together a very quick little 60-second reel on this machine of some of my work. So here's a little snippet of what I do. That's me.
Okay, so I gotta know, did you go to space to get that shot?
I do shoot with NASA and with SpaceX. I did do a shoot for Coinbase that did take me to zero gravity, so I have been filming in zero gravity, floating and trying to keep my cool together. But no, that was the magical world of visual effects.
That's gotta be tough to be floating around and trying to get shots while also trying to have a good time at the same time, because I imagine the euphoria of being able to do that is awesome.
You have no idea how accurate that is. I was really excited about it because that's kind of an area of interest for me. And I was executive producing and directing that, so I'm all strapped in and I got my flight suit on and I'm all ready to go. And I remember we're ready to rock and this is the greatest day of my life. And I'm in charge of these 30 people and I looked over my shoulder and I just saw genuine fear from the crew, and I'm like, it's gonna be great. And then we rehearsed it so many times on the ground, in this fuselage, in this plane, just kind of getting our timing right, because you only have so much time up there, and it is a physical experience, and no matter how much rehearsing you do, that first one, it just goes out the window. It's just a brand new feeling. It's the coolest thing.
It's almost like you need a run just to get used to the environment that's in there. So
you do.
Anyway, AJ's got some amazing work. Definitely check out his stuff. Give him a follow as well. I'm at Sean, SHAWNTCB on Instagram, so give me a follow as well. But we're here to talk about streamlining processes in Premiere Pro, and yesterday at the keynote there was a ton of amazing new stuff, and AJ's had an opportunity to really take advantage of these new tools, one of which is masking and tracking.
That's right.
So you've got a bunch of cool stuff to show us, so I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. Once AJ's done, we're actually going to go over Frame.io as well. I'm going to show you some cool things in there that all creators on this live channel can actually take advantage of. So AJ, go ahead and take the floor, buddy.
I'm going to do it. And you didn't ask me to say this, but I just got to reiterate, I'm so excited to do this with this guy. These tools, as they get more and more advanced, sometimes it's a little intimidating when you realize as an artist, sometimes it feels like you get new paints to paint with, and other times it feels like these tools can maybe jigger up your workflow, and you do such a good job of making these genuinely like feeling just accessible and friendly. If you don't follow him, he makes you want to dive in more. So I'm pumped to be here.
Oh, excited to be here, but let's see what you got. You got some cool stuff.
Cool. Okay, so I personally, I'm pretty good at Photoshop. I'm a decently good person at Premiere Pro. I stopped at After Effects. It's just that's where it went over my head. As soon as I saw like a null object, I was like, I don't know what that is. And it does suck because I like to do professional work, and there are so many pro features and finishing tools within After Effects that you just don't get in Premiere, despite how capable it is. But the new updates that have been added to the Premiere Pro beta, including some of these new AI-powered tools, are so powerful, and they bring some of my favorite and most desired features from After Effects straight into Premiere Pro for all editors everywhere. One of them, and the one that I'm going to chat about right now, is object masking, which is amazing. So
good. I love it.
So good. So rather than just explain it all overly, I'm going to show you this absolute piece of cinema I made, and here's something I shot with some friends.
It's simple, man. All you got to do is just go like this and flick. God, you make it look so easy. Come on, man. You got this. I'm ready. Dude, come on.
Wow, Sean. It's pretty serious stuff.
Yeah. I mean, when you're playing Frisbee, you definitely got to make sure it's as dramatic as possible.
I mean, we can't leave Jack's Frisbee throw to chance. No way. So how are we going to make sure that this Frisbee goes exactly where we need it to go? Well, I have another sequence here ready to go. And this is the same exact sequence here. Now again, I'm not a visual effects guy, but I had some thoughts on how to do this. So the first thing I did is I just shot a background plate, usually a good safety move anyway. So these are the two of them playing Frisbee, but there's obviously nothing between them. And then, how are we going to make sure this Frisbee goes exactly where I need it to go? Well, I decided to get involved. And that is me. That is me in agreeing to. What I don't appreciate, Sean, is that we chose this park because it was kind of quiet and out of the way.
Yeah.
Right before I put on the suit, a whole group of kids, and they just stayed and they watched as we did this over and again.
And they've got no filter, I'm sure.
They don't. They are vocal.
Yeah.
All right, so here I am, and okay.
I love that it's on a stick, by the way.
Yeah.
That's really clever. I thought you were holding it earlier, but the stick is a great
make
touch.
sure, Well,
Yeah.
it's about authenticity, realism. So, all right. So I need to cut myself and stick out of this sequence.
Now, normally this would be a really, really difficult process. A lot of folks in here are creators that work with stills and graphic design and things like that. So having to actually do a matte and track things is really difficult in video because you got moving objects, you got different colors. It's really, really tough.
Yeah.
So
rotoscoping. It's something that it sounds again so simple. To your point, Photoshop, things like that. Simple enough, cut out an object, duplicate it, and put some stuff on it or underneath it. But it's a video. How do you even do that? Well,
really tough.
It could not be easier. Like, it's absurd. So what I'm going to do, select the clip I want to work with. There's a new tool. This, again, is in the Premiere Pro beta called Object Mask. When I click this, it's going to have a little think about this clip. And just like this, it's able to intelligently select objects in the frame. I'm going to do a single click on me. There we go. Now, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so you get a closer look. Now, if you notice, it's like I turned blue, which is handy. That's actually because you have a whole palette of different colors here that you can select from. If I did green, it might be a little bit harder to see, but depending on the background or the object you're trying to mask out, like a red Frisbee or something of the sort, you're able to select something that just makes it really easy to identify. I love how well they think of this stuff. And now, with this mask, that's great, but we got to track it. That's the magic feature. So if I go over here in the corner, I can do a frame forward, I can do a frame backward, I can do the whole thing forward, the whole thing backward, or this button in the middle where it's going to track this clip forward the rest of the way and then continue it the other. Look at how it cuts out the Frisbee even when it goes in front of my body. It's unbelievably intelligent. So now, with it completed, just like this, I have a great mask. It's all set. This is not a forgiving bodysuit. But if I watch this, okay, great. I have a good mask. And now with this mask, you can do a couple things. And this is why I decided to take the time to go out and shoot something here, is because I find that I'm a
To shoot something. You shot a cinematic masterpiece with a Frisbee. Let's just preface that.
I have to clarify that this wasn't Nolan who did this when I show it to people. I think this is important because I, like so many, and speak up in the chat if you're this way as well. So let me see your
You're
hand.
getting some fire emojis. I'm loving it. Joel's in there.
Okay,
we've
good.
got some AJ's Absolute Go. Totally agree.
I'll take it.
And yeah, not the kids watching.
Oh,
so,
Pat,
yeah.
thanks, buddy. I wanted to make sure, I felt like a lot of the YouTube tutorials that I learned from One Step at a Time, they kind of show you how to make a mask, and then they're like, goodbye. And I wanted to show some applications that you could do creatively for this. So I have this mask. What do I do with it? A couple different things. There's a whole new suite of effects in Premiere now with film impact. You can apply those straight to this. But what we're going to do, color adjustments or something of the sort, I'm just going to take this mask and I'm going to drop it under opacity. When you do that, boom, cuts out the whole thing. Nice and clean. Now, it is really impressive how well this works, but if you notice, it kind of did the opposite of what we want, right? It cut out everything but the Frisbee.
I was going to say, yeah, how do you bring the Frisbee back?
You don't. I messed up, Sean. No, I'm kidding. It's a single
I
click.
remember my first day.
There's a single click for it right here with inverted. You click that, and now you can see it cut out only me and the stick. But it does a remarkable job of that as well. This is all single clicks. And now I can just drop this on top of my plate, and I'm not there anymore. Now, if we play this, a couple things I want to call out. It's minimal, but if you zoom in, you can see a little bit of ghosting and stuff around the edges there. And like any good masking tool, you do want the ability to feather or expand. So here, I can take this expansion tool, and you can see it gives you just a little bit more control and fidelity over this. Now, with a little bit of refinement, and also, and like I overdid it there, and like the shadow and stuff as well, but it works on everything. And here's what the rest of that scene might look like if it was fully masked.
What is happening? How are you doing that? Is it doing a loop? What just happened?
Like you said, it's all in the wrist.
What is this made of? I'm scared. I'm scared and I don't know what to do.
You gonna toss her
I'm
back?
calling the police.
Hilarious.
That is so funny. So that's a great trick. When he threw the Frisbee, it kind of like hovered a little bit. I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway,
Yeah.
We do have a comment, though,
Sure.
is did you actually need the green suit? And I think AJ used the green suit as kind of a reference to show, you know, like to really kind of isolate and differentiate the colors that are on the screen. But in essence, can you mask and track without actually needing to do a green suit?
So funny you said that, Ray. I appreciate your question. You don't. Here I have that same sequence in the green suit, and here I have it just in normal clothing. Did I purchase and put on a whole green suit just for this bit? I did, Ray. I did it for you. All I gotta do, it's the same exact process here. Select this clip, put on my object mask tool, have a quick thing. I can select me. I can select Jack. I can select Adam. I can select anything else I want, and I can track forward and backward on all of these items just as seamlessly, and it just churns right through it. It's really unbelievable. Now, just to make this point even clearer, instead of doing opacity on this one, I'm gonna go ahead and put it under Lumetri color. So now I just have that log footage on the back, and I have the color correction, the LUT, only applying to the three of us, but it did another great job masking just us. So you are correct, you don't need that, and I did that just to, honestly, all jokes aside, illustrate this point, that sure, to do it with a chroma key thing, all the steps that we would take to get a clean mask before really aren't a thing anymore. I could have done this just with my normal clothing and really, really simply. So that was kind of the point of this first demo, and I hope that was kind of interesting and fun. I got one more for you too, but
No, it's absolutely. So they want to know who is in the cowboy hat. Are these friends of yours, or who are these folks?
I
that are
wouldn't
in
call
here?
them friends. No, yes, that's I got to think
I
my
wouldn't
friends
call them
actually.
friends.
that is the dork is the one who left that comment. That's my buddy Jack Hackett, incredibly talented filmmaker and cinematographer. My buddy Adam Maltz, thank you so much for being my guinea pig for all these masks, and very talented talented director and actor Greg Furman for shooting this stuff. So I got great friends that are very trusting when it comes to Max season.
Before we move on to your next demo, though, there was a question about, well, what about the shadows? And thank you, Michael, for leaving that comment. I think that's in Restream. What about the shadows? Actually, it's YouTube comment, sorry.
Yeah, it's a great question. So I wanted to just, for the interest of time, we only got so much time here, I kind of streamlined it a little bit. But the reality is it works great on the shadows too. I can even do a mask right now if you want. I just, for the interest of, and honestly, actually to that point, to be super transparent, I did this whole green screen thing, and like I mentioned, I'm not a visual effects guy. As I started toying around with this in post, I realized the way to do it is just the Frisbee. I don't need to cut out me and the stick. I could just cut out only the Frisbee and then put that over the plate. Then I don't even need to mask shadows or anything. That would just mean that I really bought the green screen for no reason. So
you just wanted to wear the green suit.
But the reality is, and I can do it here, I have one more demo that I want to show, but the reality is that it actually does track shadows and everything just as well. And I did do a version of it where I just went and trimmed it, and it does a remarkable, remarkable job.
Now the nice thing is even if you choose your object mask tool, it'll select different objects, but what are the certain things you want to highlight that maybe the tool didn't pick up, or maybe it's something really specific? I know that there's a lasso tool, but I was wondering if you can show off really quickly before your next demo, the plus or minus tool if you want to add or remove things with your tracks.
You bet I can't. Anything for you, Sean. So here I have this mask right here, and let's say this is great, but this pesky mask, it got the Frisbee too, and I wanted everything but the Frisbee. Well, do I have to do a whole mask or anything? You don't. What I can do, and by the way, these previews, sometimes they get a little bit rougher, but they actually are cleaner when you put them over something. All I have to do is select, let me grab the mask and make sure I'm on the right tool. The subtract button. So what I can do, and I notice that sometimes this works differently than others. If I wanted to select, sorry, that's me. If I wanted to select something like a tree, I can add different selections to it or objects, or if I don't want to do that, delete that, I can go to this mask and I can hit a minus button, and that minus button will allow me to, and I don't even have to be exact with it. Like that wasn't exact. I circled outside the Frisbee, and now I've just augmented that. You also do have the options between adding different masks on top of each other. There's no real limit to the amount of masks you can have. There isn't, right? You can do a bunch of masks.
No,
or you can refine it and have one really bespoke maskable. But it's a great question.
Yes, so I think that was it for that. Let us know if you have more questions on that part, and keep the chat going. We love answering these questions.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got another demo for us?
I do.
I'd love to see it.
Okay, so these tools are really powerful as utilities, and I find like oftentimes when you think of masking, you think of it as a utility play, which it is, it's helpful, but I really want to showcase that you can use these creatively as well.
Yeah.
So I wanted to try another test, and I actually went out to try to make this a little bit difficult. Here is another shot of my buddy Adam hiking in LA. I'm going to duplicate this just so we have a little more runtime. And here's a shot of him. And this is a little bit more of a challenge than the last shot for a couple reasons. I mean, sure, he's in his yellow jacket, but his feet are kind of the same shape, or the same hue as the background behind him.
Yeah.
There's kind of flat lighting on everything, and this is very deep focus. Everything is in focus, even the background with all that texture. And I'll be honest, I went out to try to, with Adam, to really put this through its paces to see, all right, let's try different backgrounds and see how far we can push it.
Yeah.
This was the hard one, and then I was like, and we can, find more separation if we need to, and it works. It's unbelievable. With the object mask tool, select the clip you want, just like that. Now, one thing I wanted to point out with this clip, to your point about the minus, look at the accuracy here. It senses that he is not his backpack.
And that subject's far away too, like
super far away.
It's hard to kind of differentiate that. It's just, I think it's
against
amazing
this
the
kind of
tool
background.
just does it. Yeah.
And if I want to add it, boom, I click it, and it's great. So I can either here add it as a separate mask, or you can combine the two together. Something that I have found if you're using these tools, because again, this is the beta, is if you're trying to get an object and everything to all match in one, sometimes finding different frames, you can sometimes get them to go together. But I'm going to do, let's see. Delete this one right there. And here I think I have them on the same. There I go. So I'm going to track this forward and backwards now. I'm going to make it fit and have it do its thing. And I wanted to point out, with this one, I really did want to make this as difficult as possible for this machine. So what it's tracking right now, not only is it a small object far away with deep focus and flat lighting, this is 8K footage.
Yeah.
So this is a lot. And right now, if you look over here in this panel and you see all these white dots popping up, every single frame, it is generating a unique keyframe for every single frame. And these are all modifiable keyframes as well. So it isn't just doing a general like wipe of the plane and kind of scraping it. You are getting real tracking data that you can use and apply to a number of different things.
And you used to have to do this manually. You know, there were tools that kind of help a little bit, but I mean, a lot of times you had to go back in and manually move those keyframes. So the fact that these are automatically made, you can see there's a ton of them.
Right.
It's pretty awesome. You also mentioned 8K footage. I don't want to deter anyone from thinking that you need super high quality video. I literally have just done some stuff on my iPhone, and I was able to mask and track all that stuff in there just as easily. So this is built for everyone that's in this tool.
It's a really good point. Yeah, the other stuff I shot is just kind of standard 4K footage, but it's fun with iPhone too. It really does work on everything.
Yeah.
This was more, I was just curious, like, can it track it and get it really clean like that? And it does an amazing job. Now, there's this effect I've always wanted to do, but not being an After Effects person, I haven't been able to, where it's this
I'm
effect.
terrible at After Effects.
Are you? I feel like...
I mean, I want to learn. I mean, put me in a project and I can do some stuff, but like,
yeah.
I don't know, as a whole, I'm not as confident in there. I'm going to say that transparently.
Okay.
I'm
candor.
Video, you know, I got to put it out there. But with tools like this, it allows me as an editor to be able to do that cool kind of stuff very easily and not stress about it so much. So I'm glad we're on the same page. With the After Effects stuff.
Me too. There's this effect that I've seen in different movies or TV shows where you have a subject walking in front of text. I think it's a super cool effect. I've just never been able to do it because you can just already imagine I would have had to cut something out and then track it with great accuracy.
And go to a different app almost to do that. You have 100%. To leave Premiere to go do it in After Effects.
So this was just the duplication of this clip, same exact thing. And this is just some really simple text that I made over here. So now all I have to do is I can put this text over this footage and put that little cutout duplicate I made of Adam. Oh, I ate my text. Right on top. And I have Adam walking. Now, you could go ahead and just do that, but I wanted to show how you could use this not just as a tool, but cinematically. So here is Adam on a little hiking adventure. Just fun, but the point.
Okay, can we expect a sequel? I want to know what's going to happen after the disaster.
I'm just waiting for the studios to greenlight it. You know, that's it.
Okay, anybody who's in a studio, let's make it happen. 5 days before disaster. Yeah, or to disaster. Or 5 days before disaster. Yeah. We need the finale here, so we're going to need a follow up on this, AJ. Yeah. Anyway, keep going. I'm sorry.
No, that's really it. I just wanted to show that not only is this again a utility, it is a creative tool, and it's really fun to implement. And for being such a advanced technical ability that kind of is a deterrent for some, these are clicks on a laptop, and it's just unbelievably accurate and versatile. So it's been really, really fun, and I just welcome all of these advanced changes into Premiere. It's a great time to be a creator.
Totally agree. And again, accessible for everyone. So don't be intimidated. Jump in there. There's a lot of resources online to learn more about it. But we did have a couple questions that popped in, and I want to jump in. When will Object Match be regular Premiere and not beta? I believe it's actually available now, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't.
In the new version. But if you are on Creative Cloud CC, jump over to the beta version. It's available now. It works great. I've been kind of messing around with it for the last few weeks, and it's been pretty robust. But from my understanding, I think it's in there now, but I could be wrong.
What's always kind of tricky about being a creator and reporting on this stuff at Max is this is where all of the updates come out. So there has been so many announcements and continue to be every day at Max, and it's so exciting here. But I get back to my hotel and I go open up Creative Cloud and I go update, every night.
Yeah.
So my understanding 48 hours ago was that it was in the beta, but it wouldn't support. You could tell me anything right now, and I'd believe it. So yeah, I'll get back to you on that.
All right. We'll get some more updated info here in a second. The other question though was actually going back to the mask. Somebody was asking about the foot, and I wanted to make sure it was in there. As I guess the foot didn't.
Is there a part of it?
Oh, there's a cut on his legs from Emma.
Okay. Let's see.
They were asking if because there's a part where the foot was missing in the mask. And we'll show again really quickly the plus or minus part of the tool.
Sure. Let's see.
We didn't forget about you. We got you.
Yeah. Here. In fact, let's go up close and personal. Let's dive in here. Yeah. Right there. Okay. So I found this as well because just as this is a new tool, I have found that. The frame in which you grab for your mask, honestly, I just kind of grabbed one at random. Finding one that is like the most clear generally does make for the best tracking mask. So if it were this one, I've done this one enough times and I haven't had that. I wonder, so for you here, how would you do this, Sean? So there it missed the foot. Now keep in mind, this is just that layer right there. Mm-hmm. Am I able to, I would imagine, select this top layer, which again is just this. Select this mask, hit the plus button, and then with this plus button, just select around the foot.
And it should track around the foot. Maybe I would move a couple frames where it's not gonna.
And
it just does it.
And it's on the same mask. You know, it didn't create a separate thing. So now, to be safe here on this, I would probably track it again just to make sure it's all complete. Because keep in mind, by doing that, I added one keyframe, and I just want to make sure it extends it. But I'll let this run. You know, it's a great question, though. I appreciate you actually checking into that. And these are cool. These are really cool things. I used to, when I was first messing around with this tool, was getting a little bit too meticulous in my masking, and I did one that was really lazy, and I was like, oh, it's smart. It just kind of is intelligently snapping to whatever I give it. So we'll let this play out, and then let's see if we got a cleaner one here. But pretty easy solution, right?
Yes, I'm trying to look up some of those answers we had in the chat.
Yeah.
But we had another one that popped in, and I didn't want to leave it hanging. Okay, we got a question on the new transitions. I'm happy to go over that. The other question, Reggie Watts. They wanted to know what your experience was like with Reggie.
That guy's fantastic. I shot a commercial with Reggie Watts for Mozilla Firefox. It was actually one of my first national broadcast commercials, and I was so excited because I've been a fan of that guy for a while. For those that don't know him, it's so funny. Reggie Watts is a improv genius, comedian, musician, beatboxing, live looping just guy, and he's very ethereal at times. Like, he does stuff, it's almost absurdist. It's intelligent, but it's almost for the sake of being ethereal. And when you work with artists, and I've done a number of music videos and worked with people that are really, really hyper creative, you kind of want someone who's really creative and bold, but you also want someone who you can have a normal conversation with between takes and work with and take direction. And he is so ethereal at times that I was kind of like, all right, is this going to be a normal guy, or is he going to be? And he was so nice and smart and intelligent and friendly and just the coolest guy. So he's amazing. I can't say enough good things about Reggie. All right, as I do this.
Let's check that.
Okay, we're doing this live. Let's see how we do. I'm going to.
Crossing fingers.
Me too.
I'm not too worried, but.
Me too. And here we go.
That's so smooth. I mean, you can almost leave it on black and do a whole style thing with just that.
And I'm going to, just so there's no cheating here, I'm going through it. We got two legs, baby.
That's very smooth.
It's good.
That's actually really impressive with how far back our subject is.
Yeah.
And how close those colors are in the background.
I agree.
Which is why I'm assuming you chose those colors to do that. One question came in, how fast of a computer do you need to use this? You work with a lot of different machines. What have you experienced in terms of what type of computer you need? Obviously, the newer MacBook computers have really fast processors, and Premiere Pro, whatever works with Premiere Pro, you'll be able to do all the tools and things in there. It just depends on how long it'll take to render and track.
Yeah.
But what has your experience been? That's
a great question. So it plays friendly on both. I mean, you have the MacBook here. I'm on the Dell Pro Max Studio, the 16-inch, and this has an NVIDIA Blackwell chip in it. It's AI. It's very fast. It's a great machine. It's some of these AI features, like a lot of the stuff that's happening with Firefly, is you're doing it online, you're rendering it elsewhere, and that's pretty much an internet speed thing. It works really well. With this, I'd say, like all things rendering, exporting, it kind of comes down to the size of the footage that you're working with. Like massive 422 10-bit footage just is a bigger playback thing, and that's kind of not even just a masking tool, that's just a general color correction, anything kind of thing. So I would say this particular tool, you will probably see a performance difference. It works on everything, to be clear. It's more of just a speed element, but a lot of the other generative stuff, it's really done more online, and it should make a huge difference.
I love it. So they want to look at some of the new transitions, and I'm assuming it's all the Film Impact stuff. Since you already have this kind of up, what do you think are you down to play with some transitions and stuff in Film Impact?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I've been learning about this through his content online, by the way, not to just keep plugging you, but it's true.
No, stop.
Yeah. And I am going to throw it to you after this, but I want to chat about it. So it's interesting. One thing that I really love about Adobe, and as a pro creator with Adobe for a while, you really do get a sense that they're trying to make tools that iterate and improve based off the requests that you have. And so much of this stuff is just magic to me that it's like such a great time to be a creator. But the transitions and effects there's a big aftermarket community with Premiere, and we're very plug-in happy, and we love that. But especially with transitions, they're such a key part of filmmaking, and there's so much creativity that can be done there, especially in the music video world. You can do a lot of really cool stuff.
And again, it's another type of thing where you'd have to go to After Effects and do a lot of those changes and bring them back into Premiere, or do a dynamic link to make it easier, but still having them built in. And Film Impact is actually a huge library of transitions, but also effects that you can apply to your videos. And I really want to show off, because you got some of the masking stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to open up the Film Impact panel up there on the window.
Yeah.
And we'll see, there should be
Is it under effects, or?
It should be under, you could do it under effects, but there's actually, extensions, I'm sorry. It's my first day. There we go.
So this is, guys, we're doing this new.
We're doing this live.
I've always actually accessed this through the effects panel. And for those for Film Impact, if it's a new thing, Film Impact is like one of those aftermarket suites that you would purchase as a plugin that just almost became ubiquitous. Like everyone did it. So when I first heard like, oh, Adobe and Film Impact, I'm like, oh, nice. There's like a discount or something, or maybe there's some of it is included. And they're like, no, that's part of Premiere now. I'm like, oh, that's just awesome. That's so cool. So that's right, and I have seen this. So here, if I'm a new person, walk me through this.
So what I love about this dashboard is that you actually get a live preview. I mean, you can access this in your effects panel, which is great. It's another place to get these. But on here, you can actually see that there's a live playback right on the screen. And also, if you want to drag that panel onto that any one of those windows.
Oh, I can do this?
And keep it nice and organized, yeah. So again, there's not just transitions, you've got effects and everything as well. So it's an easy click and drag scenario. So let's go through some of these effects.
And I have a question for you. So if I do it here, like this is where I normally like my little effects. And
if
you don't, by the way, have like a workspace that you set up for yourself, I have an AJ editing one, and it's just kind of like, this is the way I like it and I'm used to it. But I wonder if I took it away now. If I go to add that back in here and save as a layout, I can save it to my layout.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah, totally.
So that was extensions,
Film Impact dashboard.
Yeah, okay, right here. I'm doing that now. So you guys are just
You're just going to see it live right here.
Witness to my housekeeping, you know?
Who on the chat actually creates their own layouts? So some people don't. They use the ones that are already made. What do you like? Tell us what you like.
Okay, cool. Now that said, I'm going to resize and make this nice and big because I can. All right.
Where are you at? Tell me what you need.
I'm here.
Okay. So yeah, let's do a little effect on our friend here that's doing a walk. So let's just grab one of these effects and we can just throw them in there.
Okay. So let's see. Is there one that you're partial to?
I like any of them. Let's throw in
stylize. Okay. How about this? So maybe Adam is someone that we shouldn't be getting too good of a look at. So
we want to blur him out.
So keep in mind, because I have him as a mask, right? So rather than apply this, I could do this kind of one of two ways. This is kind of a fun one. I could put it on the background, right?
You have to select it and then hit apply.
Okay, great. Oh, select the clip and then hit apply. There we go.
And it should appear in your effects
there it is, right
channels.
Here.
There you go.
Boom. Let me reset this now because I got a little crazy with it.
Sorry, like I said, we're doing this live,
Yeah.
so we're experiencing it together, and we're getting close on
But
time.
now-
So I want to get everything in before we go.
See. So that's just affecting the background. That's cool. And then I could also invert it, and I could just put it on Adam, right?
Yep, absolutely.
That's cool. And it's right here, just in my effects, so I can delete that like normal, like I would anything else. And I can select the top layer, and I can hit apply, and this would put it just on him. And now I have him as a pixelated guy walking through. Yeah, it's about as easy as it could be. And then you also, a cool thing with all of these new effects that I think is really, really amazing is there's this button called Surprise Me. So you have all these parameters, and I actually did use this in my throw sequence here. There was, I wanted to make sure for this like very dramatic, cinematic throw shot, I wanted this kind of soft glow feature, and because this was a new feature, I was like, ooh, I don't know what the best way is to mess with these parameters. So you can just kind of tap Surprise Me, and it randomizes all the parameters.
Yeah.
And it just makes it beautiful. So I actually did that to get this to a place that I liked, and then refined it from here. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a really, really. Do you have the little Surprise Me button on there? Maybe on that other sequence.
Yeah, yeah.
You can just show the group real
Right.
quick.
Right there, boop.
Yeah, so it actually just kind of randomizes all the action, so you can actually really create your own unique style without having to go through each style and create one of your own. And this works for the transitions as well. So you have multiple clips put together. There's an entire library of transitions that allow you to do all this really, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I want to also bring up, there's one question that came up. Oh, are the robust Premiere editions going to render After Effects not as useful? So do you find, well, we're not big After Effects folks, not because we love After Effects.
Love them.
But not as good in it.
Yeah.
But I would say this, After Effects is going to be your primary tool to do a lot of your advanced, motion graphics on your videos. So a lot of those same tools are still going to apply. As of right now, these tools are specific to Premiere to allow editors like us be able to do those cool things. But if you want to expand it further and do so much more, you would want to take that over to After Effects, and you'd be able to
Perfect answer.
customize that in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
The other one too, the law enforcement clips, I'm assuming they're talking about being able to blur somebody's face. Yeah, the masking tools are great for that. So if you are, let's say, on the streets and you're talking to an interview, but maybe there's folks in the background, you want to blur them out. Again, it's a really great way to use that object mask tool, mask out the face directly, use those film impact video effects. That way you can blur out the face, have a beautiful track. You can also adjust how pixelated it is. So yeah, if you want to just block out faces for people that don't want to be on camera, or again, law enforcement or things like that, like there's ways to remove the face. And
I'll
again,
plus one that. One of the ways when I was learning about this tool, I still am like a YouTube tutorial guy. One of my good friends, Premiere Gal, who's here today.
Oh yeah, she is here.
She did a great tutorial on this, and her example was quite literally doing exactly that. And what's kind of cool about it is, like you saw, if you just click the mask tool, it's going to select the whole person, but you can just hit the minus button, keep it to just the face, and then it will track that face. You can feather that out, just like I did with the green suit, and it works very, 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 very well. It's like a great use case for it.
Yeah, so we're getting close to time, but I want to go ahead and jump in and answer some of these other questions. This stuff is coming in, and I'm loving it.
Oh my God, you got frame stuff, right?
We're getting close on time, and I feel like
okay.
we're getting close to the end here. Has anyone used Frame.io in this group? Give me your comments in there.
You know, it's funny, we were talking about how long to make these demos, and he's like, dude, it's just gonna
just
blow
gonna go.
by, and he's so right.
Yeah, the
When
time
you said
just
time,
flies.
I thought I was out of my time. We're almost there.
We're beautiful.
Should I grab you the Ethernet, or you think we're answering
No,
questions?
we're good. So really quickly, I want to show off a little bit of things in Frame.io. So we're going to jump over to my computer here.
Ethernet?
And I want to show you. No, I got internet. I think I'm good.
All right.
So let's jump over to Frame. All right, so if anyone's used Frame.io, it's been primarily built for video, but the thing is Frame.io is your work in progress tool for all of your creative assets. So this doesn't just work for video folks, these are for your creators. So if you've got graphics files, if you've got documents, anything that you're working on in a project, and you want to collaborate with people all over the world, whoever has access to the internet has access to Frame.io. So I do want to kind of go over some really cool things because there's some really nice features in here. So inside of Frame.io, I'm working within a workspace here, and I've got projects within this workspace. So I'm just going to jump into this Adobe Max Test project here, and this is where I can house all of my media. So if I have files that I want to file transfer to my other creators if I'm working remotely. I could put all of my stuff in here. So I'm just going to flatten my folders because I've got a nice folder tree on the left. But if I actually flatten my folders, I can see all of my assets inside of my project very easily and quickly. I've even got some here. Let me turn these folders back on. I want to show you, I've got some stuff with a document in here. And you can see I've got multi-page PDF options. You can also put in Microsoft Word and documents, even your Photoshop files and Illustrator files. You'll be able to see your layers, but also share those to anyone that needs access to them. So you've got a slew of amazing tools in here for your PDF documents as well as video, but I'm going to jump back because I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to go back to my root project, and I'm going to flatten these folders because I want to show you kind of the core idea of how Frame.io works. So let's jump into one of these videos, and these are just kind of like dailies from the shoot that these guys are on. But let me actually show up some finals here, and we'll pull up some edits. So we've got this shoot. These hikers are out and about. I'm just going to open up this file, and now we're viewing it. We've got transcription available in there. So I'm going to go and hit play. So this is kind of like a brand video that was being made, but the real key thing here is the ability to collaborate with your creative team. So if I'm in here and I go, you know what, this was delivered from my editor, or say I'm working with, I'm the creator and I have editors that are working with me and they're sending me cuts, I can go in, select an area of my image, and I can go right here, perfect. Let's remove her eyes being closed. I can go send, and boom, it's available in there. Maybe I want to brighten something in the background. But you know what? Not everyone knows what you mean. What background? There's two different areas of the background. Well, we got annotation tools, so I can go in there, I can draw right on the screen. I can also choose different shapes and things like that. If I want to be super passive aggressive, I can just put a giant arrow in. That's what I'm talking about. And we can go ahead and hit send. And now all of your creative team can collaborate in one space and leave these comments and annotations and really keep like a symbiotic relationship with getting your content done and delivered. The one thing I really love about Frame.io, and I know we're getting close on time, is I want to talk a little bit about shares. We always want to share out our work, and sometimes you don't always have access to a web page or a landing page that you can put all your stuff in. So what I love about this is you have the ability to create share links. So I'm just going to highlight a couple of these videos. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go create share link. So let's say I'm trying to get new clients. Maybe I want to show off some work, and like these two clips really identify who I am as a creator. Again, not just video, these are all of your different assets.
Right, it's an important point.
Very important point. So I'm going to go and just make that public. I can email it out, and I'm just going to hit done because I'm going to go and edit a little bit more on this. So I'm going to go into my share, and here's where the magic can start to happen. So I'm on my edit page, and I'm just going to give this a little love. I'm going to give this a cover image. I can upload my own.
I haven't done this.
Oh, dude, whole new world, bro. I'm going to select this guy. We can scroll up, and you work with a lot of space stuff, so this would be perfect.
Oh, I've never even...
Yeah.
Max was just worth it for me.
This is why we come together to do this stuff.
That's great.
You've got options to turn things on and off. But you know what? I'm going to add an emoji because I'm going to blow my client's mind with all the stuff I can do. And I'm going to say, this is AJ. It's a capital J, isn't it? I'm sorry.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Hey, got to represent.
Attention to detail.
So this is beautiful. This kind of works. On the right-hand side, I've got a ton of different tools to customize this, but I'm not done yet. Check this out. I'm going to go and copy this. I'm going to open up a new panel here. And I'm going to show you what that looks like to whoever you're delivering it to.
Yeah, the client-facing side.
Exactly. What's nice is that they can comment. Even if they're not on the account, they can actually comment on this without you needing to invite them to your whole hard drive of stuff. So this is really great. They can go in. You're curating a list of things they can comment on. But maybe I don't want them to comment. Maybe I don't want to show all these videos. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to my edit. I'm just going to remove one of these. And I'm going to turn off the ability to leave comments. They can also download. This is a great delivery tool as well. I'm going to go back into that link and I'm going to refresh. But I didn't have to send another URL. I didn't have to get a confusing process.
That's nice.
Maybe I printed business cards. Maybe it's on my website. Maybe it's a URL that's kind of all over the place. So it's really amazing to be able to change that link, not worry about affecting the information or the URL that you already sent out, and then keep that magic going and flowing.
That's such a good demo.
I love that feature about
great.
Frame.io. It's one of my favorites. Now there is one thing, Frame.io panel is clutch.
Yeah,
So
I love that.
The beautiful thing about Frame is that not only is on the iOS app, we've got integrations with so many different tools, but we just came out with one inside of Premiere. So if I jump over to Premiere Beta, which I put somewhere, sorry, it's my first day. Where did I put it? There
Far
it is.
right?
There we go. I've got actually a miniaturized version of V4 right inside of Premiere, which is really great. So I can access my files inside of Premiere. This is a little sequence I did. Whoever is a Disneyland fan, I definitely did some shots at the park, which I was having some fun with. But inside of the Frame panel, look, small flex, kind of Disneyland.
And you
right?
shot that on phone, right?
I did. I shot this on the 17 Pro, which
log,
is fine.
right?
I did it in log.
Looks so good.
And I actually got some LUTs online, so I just threw some LUTs on there, but that's why it looks so good. I'm not a great colorist.
No,
but
that's great.
anyway, having a miniaturized version of Frame, the beautiful thing about having it in the product is that you don't have to leave Premiere. Again, it's like we don't want to leave the application. We want to stay in that creative flow. So I have access to all of my projects, so I can jump in and access all the same media that I want to be in here. I can see all of my metadata fields, so if I want to organize things by metadata, it's really nice to be able to toggle these on and off. I can add new fields, I can customize them. But what's really nice is if I want to send this sequence out to Frame.io, I can actually export this, it'll upload into Frame, whatever project I want it to go. I can choose a location, I'll throw it in one of these. It'll take a minute to upload, but I'm just going to hit select.
It's just so good. It's the tool you wish you had, and it's just perfect.
Absolutely. And I've been in Frame a long, long time. I'm in the Adobe world now, but I started in Frame back in 2018, so I really, really love this tool. It saves so much. So I'm going to try and export this. Let's see if it does. It's just a little clip. But I want to see and show you if we can have enough time to do it. Because once you upload your clip to Frame and it's available on the site, what's really nice is that once anybody leaves comments, they're going to appear as markers right on your timeline. Now it's going to take a few moments. I think it's going to go to Media Encoder, so I might not be able to show that off, but I wanted to make sure I expressed that is ability in there too. Plus, if I want to, if I add a marker on my timeline, I can put, we got people all over the place. There's
we know
so many
people.
folks.
We're very cool.
We know people.
We're very cool people.
So I can put my comments inside of a marker, and once I export, I can include those and have them appear as comments inside of Frame.io. So if I'm an editor saying, hey, maybe I've got a different shot of this, let me know what your thoughts are. Whatever you want to express, you can do it right inside of Frame. So that's going to take a few moments. I don't know if we'll be able to show that off in here.
Like this, ages on a magic carpet. Sean just showed him a whole new world. Very true.
I love it. Very excited to show that off. Please give Frame.io a chance. If you do have a Creative Cloud subscription, do have a lightweight version of Frame.io available. It comes with 100 gigs of storage, 5 projects, and some users. But also, we've got pricing options if you want to do a more expanded version. But get your feet wet. Give it a try. Try it out with your friends. Add some users in and really get that whole experience. But we are actually at time, and there's no questions in there. AJ, it's been an absolute pleasure, man.
I love it.
I really appreciate it.
This
was fun.
This is great.
This was our first time doing a live show.
I know.
So.
Can you believe it? This is wonderful. This is such a good time. Thanks for having me. This is, and just a plug for Max. If you haven't gone, I know that sometimes I don't travel out of town for conferences all the time. I wish you could see what's around here because it's just honestly a celebration of creativity. It is so vibrant, the people are so cool, and Adobe just really goes all out on making it a time. You eat well, the entertainment's great, the swag is unbelievable.
And just being in the creative community is great too. I mean, there's just, everyone's so warm, they're generous, they're welcoming, and it's just a really great group of people. But we really appreciate you chiming in on Adobe Live. We hope to see you at Adobe Max in person, but of course, we want to give you all the fun and deliver it to you as much as we can. Thank you all so much for joining, and stick around for the next show. We got some great stuff for you all day. Have a great day.